Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So today we will continue chapter 2, which is business process redesign principles. So at the end of this topic, you should be able to list and describe the 7 process principles for redesign, list and explain the 7 transformation principles to guide managers in their project strategy, structure and process, identify and describe the 6 principles that provide guidance for continued productivity and success, which is continuous process improvement. For re-engineering change to be successful, there are several questions that must be answered by the team member or the people involved in the re-engineering. First, how do we develop effective re-engineering design? So to answer this question, you need to refer or follow process redesign principles. Another question is, how can we ensure a successful implementation? To answer this question, you need to follow transformation principles. And the last question, how can we ensure continued application, productivity and effectiveness after the re-engineering? By following the continuous process improvement principles. Okay. Here you can see that in order for the organization to do the re-engineering, they have basically 3 levels. First level is during you want to design the re-engineering. Maksudnya masa ni belum lagi implement, you baru nak create, you baru nak cari idea, nak membentukkan ia. And then the second phase, bila you dah develop the design and then you nak implement tu you kena follow transformation principle. The last phase of re-engineering is how to maintain the implemented re-engineering. So to make sure yang you punya implementation tu can be maintained, boleh terus je sukses, you kena follow continuous process improvement principles. Okay, so macam yang saya explain tadi lah, the principle of business re-engineering ada process redesign principle, transformation principles and also continuous process improvement principle. So macam saya cakap tadi, untuk buat business re-engineering, untuk membuat re-engineering, the organisation need to face 3 phases. These 3 phases ni akan ada principle dia yang telah dibentuk. Organisation just need to follow all the principles that have been created in order to make sure that you can achieve a successful implementation ataupun you can achieve a successful re-engineering. Okay, first kita tengok dekat 7 process redesign principle. Okay, you kena ingat bila kita akan guna process redesign principle ni, waktu kita nak develop the design, kita nak design re-engineering tu, waktu kita dah identify yang company kita nak kena buat re-engineering, and then you question what kind of re-engineering that you want to do to your organisation. So you kena follow this principle. So there are the 7 principle, which is organize work around outcomes, provide direct access to customers, harness technology, control through policies, practices and feedback, enable interdependent and simultaneous work, give decision-making power to workers, and build in feedback channels. Okay, the first one is organize work around outcome. It means that you enables people to measure the direct impact of their work on the organisation. Kita nak make sure that kita punya re-engineering tu is functionable, proses tu dapat berjalan dengan lancar dan setiap user ataupun pekerja yang involved dalam proses tu is functioning well dan able to solve all the business activities. The second one is provide direct access to customer. Here, the work groups can be held accountable for their behaviour. Setiap task yang diberi, setiap tanggungjawab yang diberi itu maksudnya dia kena accountable dan dia kena bertanggungjawab untuk uruskan proses tersebut. Why you need to follow this principle? Because it allows for timely and accurate responses to customer enquiry. So dia tahu dia yang responsible for handling customer. So dia kena cepat-cepat serve the customer kalau diperlukan. And then it eliminates the common mismatch between customers' expectation and product service development. Pernah terjadi kan? Customer nak yang macam ni tapi yang dia dapat yang macam ni. So kita nak elakkan daripada berlakunya benda itu. That's why kena ada communication yang clear di antara seller and also customer. Next is harness technology. Technology, as you know, can provide universal access to information. It allows people to act independently, bound by neither time or place. So dengan adanya teknologi lah, ODL boleh berjalan dengan lancar. Kalau tak ada teknologi, memang impossible untuk kita buat kelas secara maya macam ni, betul tak? Kalau tak ada komputer, kalau tak ada internet, Kalau tak ada all the gadgets, memang takkan boleh untuk kita buat ODL. So thanks to technology. Okay, so harnessing technology means providing access to the right information at the right time. Next one, control through policies, practices and feedback. So macam mana kita nak control ataupun set regulation di antara user and customer? So kita guna pakai policies, practices, apa yang kita guna pakai, apa kita punya beliefs, and also and then kita juga boleh control through feedback daripada customer. Kita boleh control this policy, practices and feedback ni dari segi operational and also financial control. So macam mana kita nak maintain operational and financial control? You need to make sure the company need to institute a clear, well-documented policies and practices on which the base decision making, followed by training in applying those policies and practices. Make sure semua people yang involved dalam re-engineering tu tahu macam mana nak communicate the policies and practices. Dia faham lah, supaya nanti dia boleh explain to the customer. And then a solid feedback process that identifies errors and potential problems. And feedback can take the form of periodic measurement or an audit process that randomly checks compliance with policy and practices. So feedback sangat penting lah. As you can see, bila kita tengok feedback, baru kita tahu kat mana kita punya performance. Next, enable interdependent and simultaneous work. Interdependent and simultaneous work ni means that dalam satu organisation dia ada banyak-banyak department, dan banyak-banyak department tu pula dia akan link together. Department A tugas dia buat ni, Department B tugas dia buat ni, dan sebagainya. So setiap department ni akan link to one another untuk make sure that the outcome of the business tu is achievable. So when people have access to information and can communicate cross-functionally and cross-organizationally, then work can be performed simultaneously instead of linearly. For example, saya sebagai lecturer, saya nak check student saya ni dah bayar yuran ke belum. Okay, so by right, kalau kita nak tahu, kita kena refer kewangan, sebab kewangan yang handle duit-duit semua. But somehow, because of interdependent and simultaneous work ni, saya boleh juga access information tentang status kewangan pelajar tersebut dalam sistem UiTM yang dipanggil SIMS, Student Information Management System. So bila saya buka SIMS, saya masukkan nombor pelajar, and then saya dekat situ ada maklumat pelajar dan juga status pembayaran yuran dia. So saya tak perlu nak kena call kewangan dan sebagainya. Saya buka je sistem tu, saya boleh access dan saya dapat information tersebut. Itu yang dipanggil enable interdependent and simultaneous work. So bila ada that kind of process, dia akan lebih mempercepatkan lagi decision making process dan juga proses yang seterusnya. Next, give decision making power to workers. Okay, access to accurate information and clear understanding of policies and practices empowers people to make informed and also competent decisions. So people can act quickly, responding to customer needs as they arise. The role of management shift from supervisor to coach, from boss to facilitator, and from tactician to strategist. So kita tak perlulah ada satu masa tu kita nak kena buat decision tapi kita kena tunggu bos kita reply. Nak kalau bos kita outstation, so macam mana kita nak buat? So we need to do something that can help the worker to make decision in order to make sure that they can solve the problem faster than before. Okay, the last one is built-in feedback channel. How well are the BR project meets their goals? So kat situ kita tengok dari segi dia punya feedback. Measurement, assessment and change capability must be added. Individuals and teams receive direct and immediate feedback from customers and others with whom they interact. Jangan pula you sebagai seller ataupun business company selalunya akan ada Facebook page ataupun account seller dekat Shopee dan sebagainya. Bila ada negative comments daripada seller je, you delete. Contohnya kan, maksudnya you tak jujur sebagai seorang businessman, you tak jujur sebagai seorang business people. Maksudnya you tidak transparent. So customer selalunya dia nak tahu yang betul-betul semuanya, yang sebenar-benarnya terjadilah. So kalau you cover the feedback tu, nanti mungkin dia akan create curiosity pula dekat buyers, and mungkin buyers pun akan decide untuk tidak berurusan dengan you punya company. Okay, tadi kita tengok macam mana waktu kita nak redesign ataupun design re-engineering project. So sekarang ni kita dah identify dah kita dah design dah kita punya re-engineering, proses apa yang kita nak ubah. So sekarang ni kita nak implement pula proses tersebut. Okay, untuk make sure you punya implementation tu successful, you need to follow the 7 transformation principle. Okay, assumptions and biases shape behavior. People believe what you do, not what you see. Involvement breeds acceptance. Just don't do something, sit there. Change the foundation first. Change takes time but not that much. And progress is not linear nor it is smooth. So the first one, assumptions and biases shape behavior. So bila you nak implement re-engineering, you need to refer to this principle. The first one, behavior cannot change until the underlying causes of behavior are addresses. Okay. So you need to identify clearly apakah punca sebenarnya masalah tersebut. Okay, kalau you rasa macam proses tu yang ada masalah, tapi sebenarnya waktu implementation tu yang problem, so sebenarnya you kena tengoklah dekat implementation tu. For example, like biases, beliefs and assumptions determine an individual's mental model and in turn his or her behavior. So yang paling penting, waktu kita nak implement kita punya re-engineering tu, kita kena change the behavior of workers. Kalau culture tu sebelum ni culture tidak berapa okey, you perbetulkan juga culture tu. So bila you dah perbetulkan culture, thinking, you akan at least boleh implement dengan successful. Next one is people believe what you do, not what you say. Orang kata walk the talk. Kalau kita bercakap tapi kita tak buat kerja tu, orang tak percaya. So you need to, so apa idea yang you ada, you kena gerakkan idea tersebut. Next one, involvement breeds acceptance. People won't accept re-engineering until they can see themselves living and working in the re-engineered environment. For example, tahun lepas masa PKP kan, tiba-tiba kena mengajar secara online. Semua IPTL lain tidak start, tapi UiTM teruskan dengan ODL. Masa tu lecturer sendiri pun tak tahu menjadi ke tidak ni ODL ni, okey ke tidak. Semua orang macam tertanya-tanya. But somehow UiTM ni yang bagusnya, dia teruskan juga. Kita try. Kalau kita tak try, kita tak tahu. So that's why bila UiTM dah try buat ODL ni, dan somehow it's okay lah daripada tidak buat langsung kan. Pada saya pun yang mengajar, saya rasa okay je. Kita buat video lecture, and then student kalau ada masalah internet tak boleh buka on the class time tu, boleh buka waktu internet dia okay. So kita ada flexible time dekat situ. I think that it is quite acceptable lah, maksudnya kan, kita pun tidaklah terlalu strict. So bila dia jadi involve, kita try tu, lama-lama baru orang nampak, oh okey, rupanya boleh, rupanya buat ODL ni. So orang lain pun akan follow. Dah nampak tu baru dia lebih meluas dan meluas. Next, just don't do something, sit there. Okey, apa maksud dia? Kadang-kadang kita ni bila nak solve problem, okey, terus pergi. Tak boleh. Kita kena duduk dulu. Sit there tu maksudnya kita kena think first. Apa consequences kepada decision yang kita buat. Jangan kita terus nak main, decide je. So basically, typical mistakes made by project teams and executive who act before they think. Selalunya dia not thinking through the assumptions. Dia tak ada kebarangkalian kesan kalau dia implement tu apa jadi. Not planning for every contingency. Contoh, kalau lah decision ni dah buat tak jadi, apa yang nak buat lepas ni? Plan B dia apa? Dah tak ada plan B, macam mana nak buat? And then using coercion rather than eliciting buy-in. So bila jadinya benda yang macam ni, it will create project delay and unnecessary pressures. So selalunya bila terjadi yang macam ni, akan berlakunya delay dalam re-engineering, or somehow mungkin tidak berjaya lah dia punya re-engineering. So what you need to do, you bring in people from all affected departments to help think through their implementation before the team acts. Selalunya bila kita nak buat re-engineering ni, kita kena make sure orang yang involved dengan re-engineering tu kena berada bersama-sama untuk solve the problem. Sebab mereka yang experience that situation, mereka yang lebih tahu macam mana nak solve that problem. Next one, change the foundation first. The first phase of implementation is to create a foundation. Contohnya, kalau you nak buat rumah, you kena make sure you punya tapak rumah tu kukuh. Kalau you buat rumah atas sawah padi, sawah padi ni you dah tahu tanah ada air kan, bawah tanah dia tu ada air. So kalau you tak tambun betul-betul ke apa ke, dalam masa beberapa tahun selalunya dia ada efek lah kepada keadaan rumah tu. Ataupun you buat rumah dekat dengan highway, lori selalu lalu tiap-tiap hari, so lama-lama rumah tu mungkin akan berlaku keretakan. So you kena make sure foundation tu kena kuat, baru tak berlakunya masalah di depan hari. And then change takes time but not that much. So transformation is a process, not a single event. Dia akan sentiasa berlaku. So systems must be built, processes overhaul, reference materials developed, and people must be trained. So buy-in is the best achieved through incremental implementation, allowing verification of benefits and refinement of the solution. So you can always accept that anything that happen can be solved. And then when we talk about time, eventually all the problems ni ada solution dia, lambat dengan cepat sahaja. But somehow the key word dia adalah don't give up. Sama juga dalam organisation. And the last one, transformation principles. Progress is not linear nor it is smooth. Untuk kita mencapai successful implementation of re-engineering ni, kadang-kadang dia ada progress, kadang-kadang progress dia smooth, kadang-kadang progress dia tak okay. But somehow janji dia masih progressing, should be no problem. Okay, so the reason for the BPR and its benefit must remain highly visible throughout the project is patience, timing and persistence are critical to a successful transition. Jangan macam saya cakap tadi lah, don't give up early. You kena ada patience untuk make sure, ataupun you need to be positive that your re-engineering tu can be successfully implement. Alright, and then lepas you dah berjaya implement the re-engineering, the next phase is to facing the continuous improvement environment. So macam mana kita nak make sure that kita punya implementation tu boleh maintain keberjayaan dia, tidak akan berlaku pula problem pada masa depan yang menyebabkan kena buat pula re-engineering yang lain. So antara cara dia adalah by following the continuous improvement principles. Re-engineered business processes must be maintained. There are 6 principles provide guidance for continued productivity and success. The first one is improvement is everyone's responsibility. Improvement is always desirable. Pay attention to detail. Quality requires systematic work. Create an ongoing exchange and sharing of information. Quality is driven by individual, not organizations. So the first one, improvement is everyone's responsibility. Maksudnya kalau kita nak make sure kita maintain kita punya re-engineered organisation, bukan bos sahaja yang kena maintainkan culture re-engineering tu, tapi semua people in the organisation. Bukan employee saja yang kena maintain the re-engineered organisation tu, tapi bos pun kena buat. So semua pihak kena bersama-sama lah maintainkan. Contoh, kalau you nak menguruskan badan kan, waktu redesign tu you plan, okay, aku nak kurus cara apa? Nak diet Atkins ke? Nak diet suku-suku separuh ke? Nak diet IF ke? Waktu tu you redesign. And then you nak implement pula. Macam mana cara nak implement? Waktu bila? Okay? And then bila you dah identify you nak implement bila, dan you teruskan implement tu dan berjaya you punya proses menguruskan badan, you dah jadi cantik dan sebagainya, dah handsome, and then you nak continue supaya berat badan you tak naik. Inilah cara dia. You kena jangan pula bila you dah kurus, okay, aku dah kurus dah, aku nak makan macam dulu balik. So nanti akan naiklah badan you. Sama juga macam re-engineering. You kena ada responsibility untuk maintainkan you punya re-engineering tu. So each manager and each unit must be accountable for continuous improvement in these areas. Alright, communications, quality, error reduction, productivity, customer satisfaction, cost reduction, worker satisfaction and enjoyment. Next one, improvement is always desirable. You selalu ada semangat untuk improve. Okay? Jangan terlalu selesa dengan dekat tahap yang sama. So a successful, healthy work unit, whether it consists of a large corporation or only 2 people, should constantly strive to improve what it does with the resources it has. Focusing on customers and improvements keep the unit's mode of operation proactive and anticipatory rather than reactive. Kalau reactive tu tak okey lah. People must be heard and given the power to implement improvements. Next one, pay attention to detail. Improvement are lasting only when people attend to the lowest level of detail. Contoh kalau you buat kenduri, you masak-masak kan, and then selalunya kenduri ni kan masak banyak-banyak kan. Contohlah beli ayam 50 kilo. So ayam 50 kilo tu, masa you cuci ayam, biar ada bau ayam tu macam berbau sikit, tapi you kata tak apalah, sikit je kan. Tapi bila you masak, kesudahannya tengok-tengok dia cepat basi. Sayang tak? Sebab tak bagi attention to detail dekat ayam yang berbau walaupun seekor dua tu, dalam 50 kilo tu, dia dah menyebabkan keseluruhan lauk yang berkilo-kilo tu rosak dan basi dan tidak makan dan tidak boleh dimakan. Nampak tak kerugian di situ kalau kita tak pay attention to detail. So same goes to the organisation juga. And then quality requires systematic work. Improving the environment and customer responsiveness required a systematic change, a change in the union contract and supporting business policy. So people must have the skills to identify and analyze the problem, create problem-solving strategies, and also communicate the situation to involve others. And the organisation environment must welcome and encourage such messages. Ingat, bila kita buat re-engineering, maksudnya kita menjadi organisasi yang baru. New culture, new vision, new mission. So you kena maintain that quality. Next one, create an ongoing exchange and sharing of information. People can take action only if they have knowledge and awareness. Okay, a re-engineered operations must include the following capabilities and values. First, methods for anticipating problems. Kena cari macam mana cara untuk kita anticipate the problem, identify the problem. And then data is non-judgmental and should be viewed as an opportunity for improvement. Transmitting problem solutions and improvement ideas is a critical worker and financial and managerial function. Information sharing should be proactive. People should be rewarded and encouraged to share information. Kadang-kadang organisation ni dia suka merahsiakan any information sebab dia tak nak create chaos lah contohnya kan. Tapi somehow the communication is very important lah. Employee ni deserve to know what happened to the organisation. And then the last one, continuous process improvement principles. Quality is driven by individual, not organisation. Improvement happens because people care, because they are committed to the best performance and quality they can deliver. So kalau individu dan organisation tu bagus, maka baguslah, maka continuously improve lah re-engineering kat organisation tu. So they believe that they can improve, they want to improve themselves, improve the process and discover and learn from any source possible. And author Peter Senge calls it as a personality mastery, continually striving to increase one's contributions to the group to which one belongs, either at home, either at work and play. So personal mastery is only possible in environment that encourage and rewards improvement at all levels. That's why we as an individual itself kena ada semangat untuk always improve. Bila kita ada semangat untuk always improve dalam diri kita as an individual, bila kita bekerja nanti, kita akan bawa personality itu ataupun kita akan bawa that vibe and then kita akan create that culture tu. Dan semua orang akan mempunyai perasaan ataupun vibe yang sama. That's why kalau you nak buat change, you jangan suruh orang lain yang change dulu, but you yourself need to change. Bila you yourself change, your change vibe tu akan transfer kepada orang lain. Okay, itulah yang berlaku dalam organisation. Alright, that's the end of chapter 2. Untuk chapter 2 ni, dia antara topik yang penting juga. Dia ada juga masuk dalam case study. So nanti saya akan bagi dekat you all case study yang sama, pasi yang sama juga yang kita buat exercise untuk last week, untuk menjawab soalan yang berkaitan dengan BPR principles. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much. Stay safe, take care. Assalamualaikum.